it's Liz Yuille from Old Staples Crafts. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK. Welcome to Simple Stamping Saturday. This is the day when I show you a project that is quick and simple to make, uses very minimal supplies, and then I step it up so that we add some more supplies as we go along until we get to one that is more aimed at the avid crafter who has lots of product and maybe a few extra techniques in their arsenal. So I am using the Bird Ballad Free as a Bird stamp set. I will be introducing the bundle later on and some designer series paper, but to start with I'm just using some simple stamping, and I'm using 3 of the stamps, 2 on the card and then 1 on the envelope. So as ever, this is one of our note cards and envelopes, and I've chosen to use the Whisper White version. So let me grab my new card. You will find that they are scored down the centre, so you don't even have to score them. Because the stamp I'm using is longer than the width of the folded card, I'm just using a sticky note to mask the bit that will be overstamped. I've got my cluster of birds on my I block. You could use the E block instead, but I like the width of this. I find it just a little bit easier to hold, but you're going to need either an E or an I. Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and then just bring it in, and you want it probably a little further up than that, but you want it as far across to the right as you can dare to have it without going off the edge, and then just hold it in place, pressing down. It's a reasonably large stamp, so do make sure you press behind all of the stamp before you then lift it up, and there is your lovely stamped image. If you're wondering about my nail varnish, this is the nearest I can get with my nail varnish colours, certainly the pearly ones, to a rainbow. So I've got my own little rainbow going to support our key workers. And I'm going to see if I can get it in flat colour as well, but at the moment these are the only colours that I've got that seem to make a rainbow. Right, I have to say it did take a while to do. The World Needs More of You, I think, is again perfect for our key workers, because the world definitely does need more of them at the moment. And that's that stamped, and then while we're stamping, let's get our envelope. Don't need my sticky note anymore. Get our envelope, and I'm coming down in the bottom right hand corner and just stamping one of the flowers from the stamp set. And there we go. So that's all our stamping done. I do always suggest that when you're going to colour and then use a blender pen, which we will, one of our blender pens, these come in a pack of 3. They last a really long time, and we'll go through using that properly in a moment. But the blender pen can move the Tuxedo Black. Tuxedo Black is, it says, where is it? Dries on all paper surfaces. No, it's not that. When dry, stamped impressions are water resistant. Not waterproof, water resistant. You could use StazOn instead, but the cleanup for StazOn is quite involved. So I like to use the Memento for watercolour pencils and the blender pen, and it's perfect for blends, which we will be introducing later. But do make sure that your image is fully dry before you come in with your blender pen. So this is a blender pen, this is a blend. Yeah, they are different. And I do hear people calling these blends and these blender pens. So just be clear, this is a blender pen, not a blend. Okay, so I am going to start with my early espresso. This is the larger set of the watercolour pencils. So it's the original set as opposed to the assortment 2. And I have stayed within the colours that are available in that first set. So I've just used my early espresso on the branch, and anything that would be obviously brown. I will be coming back to use that because we do use it. In fact, I might as well do that now while I've got it in my hand. So just gently. So I hope you can see this. I've used quite a lot of the watercolour pencil on. I'm not going to be using so much on the birds. It's going to be a much lighter touch. In fact, I may actually add some more colour to the branch, and then it will be more obvious what I mean by it's a lighter touch. So I want the branch to be obviously a darker shade than the feathers on the bird. So let me see if you can see that. So lots here and not very much there. So that's everything I need the early espresso for. Then old olive for all of the leaves. And you don't need to go to the edge. You can colour within, you know, just within the leaf, because using the blender pen, you can then move the colour out. So all we're doing really is putting some pigment down so that we can then move that around. So you don't have to be accurate. Just stay inside the lines at this stage and you'll be fine. And then the last leaf. There we are. So that's everything that we need the old olive for. Calypso Coral is my next colour. I don't know why I've got Daffodil Delight out, because I don't use it. So let's pop that away. In fact, what I should have out is Pumpkin Pie, not Daffodil Delight. So let's switch those over. I mark my watercolour pencil, so this is the number 2 set, and if it doesn't have the washi tape, it's part of the original set. So it just helps me remember. So Calypso Coral, just adding some colour to the top half, but not the head. So up to the line that's on the eye area, but not above that. And then the wings will be a different colour. So, and again, we're going to add a little bit of that to our flower buds, and we will move that around with our blender pen. Okay, so that's that. Basic grey for the rest of the plumage, and then we'll be adding some Pumpkin Pie for the beak. It's not an accurate, you wouldn't really have Pumpkin Pie on a beak, but I just want it, I didn't want it to be early espresso. I felt that was a bit too dull. Let's bring that down on the wing a bit, just onto his back a bit. Okay, that's that, and then, as I say, the Pumpkin Pie just on the beak. And then blender pen. Now I use the pattern in the bottom of my grid paper. That's the word I'm looking for, just to make sure that I've not got any colour on here already. And I'm going to start with the branch. So I'm basically going to be doing this in the same order I did the colouring, and this just blends this out, takes away any lines that were created because of the nib of the pencil or the colour of the pencil, and then scribble again, do the leaves. Lead, that was the word I was looking for. I mean, it's not really lead because it's pigment, but you can end up with those marks, particularly as I added the colour in a very slapdash way. Oh, and I do need to remember I've got to colour the envelope as well. Well, I may show you a different way of doing that, actually. Just thinking on the fly. So that blends the colour out and fills in where you had blanks. Scribble it off, and then we'll do the flower buds. This is a great time of year for blossom. I love blossom. The only problem I have with it is that I have, to call it hay fever is wrong because it's nothing to do with hay. I have seasonal rhinitis, hay fever, which is caused by tree pollen, spring flowers and fungi, all of which are really active in the spring. Normally not a problem because normally it rains, certainly in the UK, but it's really lovely weather at the moment. Well, they're saying that it's supposed to be a nice sunny day today, and I'm planning to do some gardening once I've shot this video, and it doesn't look that pleasant. But there we go. Right, so I haven't cleaned this nib because I've just used the Calypso Coral for the petals, and this is Calypso Coral as well, so I didn't need to change the to clean off the nib of my blender pen. And anyway, I'm blending all of the colours on the bird together, so it's not vital. All I would say is if you've finished on a bit of grey, start on a bit of grey, and then the blend will be better. But we just want that little hint of the pink, and again, because I've just finished on early espresso, I'm switching straight to early espresso so that I can then blend into the Calypso Coral, into the basic grey, and it's seamless. So I've finished on basic grey, start on basic grey, and then it all blends seamlessly like that. Scribble off. So that's the card finished. We do need to fold it in half, but other than that. Now, the other way you can use your watercolour pencils and your blender pen is you can take the colour from the pencil and add it to your image. So rather than adding it to the image and then blending, you can add it at the same time as blending it out, and it gives you a different effect. So yeah, just bear that in mind, that you can do it this way as well, and then blend out. Super! And scribble off when you finish. I always scribble off when I start and when I finish, and that way I know that I should be okay and not end up with colour where it shouldn't be. So that's that. Fold your card in half. I always say this, but a good bone folder is an investment. It will last you a lifetime. I have a number of these because I, when we can, run face-to-face classes, but this is one I was given, oh gosh, 3 years ago, with my initial on the end. So yeah, it just never wears out. So there is our newly done card. There's the original card. So let me pop those over to the side and introduce you to my slightly stepped up card. I'm first going to introduce you to the cards that I've used, which are the Bird Ballad note cards. Do we call them? Oh, it's on the packet. So they're Bird Ballad laser cut note cards and envelopes, and they are in vanilla, although I've continued to use white for my projects, and I will show you how I've done that. But they come in this beautiful tin, so you could make them all up and then gift them. So my casual version is this one. So you can see that I've used the white. I've used designer series paper on the inside of the laser cut, and it shows on the inside of the card as a nice focal point when you're on the inside. And I've used one of the designer series papers. This is Petal Pink with white dots, so that helps bring the white across. So it was a very deliberate choice. Then I've used some of the Petal Pink metallic edged ribbon from the mini catalogue, and then blends. I've used very few blends, so I've not used two of one colour. So I've not used the combo, I've used separate colours. So I've used Grey Granite, Calypso Coral, which one did I use? Light Smoky Slate, Dark Crumb Cake, and actually it wasn't the dark Calypso Coral I used, it was the light Calypso Coral. And was it the dark or the light of these? Oh, I've forgotten. Let me find a piece of scrap paper and I will tell you. It was the light. So it was the light Grey Granite. Now I use Grey Granite in preference to Smoky Slate because it's a warmer grey. So, and I also introduced the light Petal Pink. So they are actually, apart from the Crumb Cake, which is dark, they are all, oh, and let's bring in the Old Olive. So I've used light Old Olive, light Petal Pink, light Calypso Coral, light Soft Suede, and light Grey Granite. And then I've introduced dark Crumb Cake. So can you see that that's... And then this is the new tag topper that's in the annual catalogue. The Delightful tag topper, I think. But it will be listed both below and over on my website. And that's just a 2-inch strip, punched, cut to length, and then the ribbon added. And then I've added some of the self-adhesive basic sequins and then moved the sentiment up. And I have cut off this leaf. So I fussy cut and I've cut that leaf cluster away. So that's my casual version. And they're beautifully scalloped envelopes. And of course you could stamp on your envelope as well. And then for my more avid version, I have done additional colouring. So I brought in the dark Calypso Coral and the dark Soft Suede. Otherwise it's the same colour scheme. Although I took out the Petal Pink. But so basically I've just introduced 2 additional blends. And I've used the bundle dies, which are the stitched nested labels for this piece here. Now, the one that I used, I want to say it was that one. No, keep doing that. It was this one. Yes, so it was this one, but you will see that that is shorter than my label. So I partially cut it. So I had a piece of card and I only put the top plate to there, ran it through the embossing folder, and then if you've wondered what this is and what it's for, you can slot it into those holes and run that through to extend your label and then just trim the edge off to get any length. So I may do that as a Top Tip Tuesday at some point, not immediately. So that's what I use these for, and that's part of the bundle. So if you get the stamp set and those stitched labels, stitched nested labels, that's a bundle. Only until the new catalogue comes out though. So even if this carries over, these will not be bundled, they will be separate. So if you want them both, get them before the catalogue runs out, then you get 10% off them both. And then I've used the same sequins, but I've added the champagne rhinestones in the middle, just as an added bit of sparkle. And on both these cards I've popped the label up with dimensionals, and this is the striped organdy ribbon, Petal Pink, and the lace, which is part of the Bird Ballad suite. And again, we've just got the designer series paper on the inside. So let me remove those. So we have got our simple, quick, mass-produced version. Step it up a bit and then step it up some more. I love these laser cut note cards. I haven't used them enough and I'm in a determined effort to use them before the catalogue runs out, just in case they don't carry over, because I love them. I may have to get some more because you can use them for all sorts of projects. So I hope you found that interesting. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give a thumbs up. Do remember that if you're in the UK, you can shop with me. Links are below and over on my website. The blog post for this is the associated blog post below. You can subscribe by hitting the subscription button in the bottom right hand corner. Keep well, keep safe. Key workers, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is for you, the very least I can do. I am making thank you cards like they are going out of fashion and handing them out to everybody that I can possibly hand them out to, just to say thank you for doing such an amazing job whilst the rest of us are. Stay at home, wash your hands. It's not difficult. Thank you very much. See you again soon. And as I say, keep well and keep safe. Thanks a lot for watching,